Good morning. Happy Saturday. No. Yeah, Saturday. My Monday. Yay. Um, on my way to work now. I'm just letting the truck warm up a little bit. Had a pretty much uneventful weekend. It's just another part of the routine. It seems like it's all one big routine. The work week, my weekends, it's just a big routine, man. But it's all good. It's just how life is. As long as no bad things are happening, I'm cool. It would be nice if some good things happen. I mean, I guess every day I'm allowed to wake up and feel decent and function as pretty much a normal person. I guess that's good enough, man. Like I said in my other video, my hot tub video, I'm having a hard time making myself happy. Okay, it's all me. We all have to make our own happiness, right? Pretty much. There's things like money and other people that can contribute to our happiness, but ultimately what it boils down to is we have to make ourselves happy, because we can't rely on other things. Money does help, but that's very limited on real happiness. Okay, you can buy temporary happiness, but not like real, true, long-lasting happiness with money. That just has to be from within. I think you got to make yourself happy, and I think that is being happy with yourself. And I'm happier with myself. I'm not particularly happy with circumstances about life that's going on, but I'm dealing with it. I'm dealing with everything. And even with all the crap going on in the world these days and all the toxicity of just everything these days, I'm still managing to do all right. Okay. Damn, the lady was talking to herself. The dog's looking at her like, what the hell are you doing? So it would be easy to fall into a funk, and which it is when I do. It's easy to get into a funk or a depression. It seems harder to keep myself happy than it is to not, okay, these days. But it's something I think I got to train myself to do, is to try to look at the more positive side of life and be a little bit more optimistic instead of pessimistic, because just that also, it's easy to be pessimistic and harder to be happier in life, about life, and optimistic, for me, at least these days. But it's all right. I'm coming from like a pretty rough background, and I think I'm doing okay for what I am, what I've done, where I've been, where I came from. I'm hanging in there, and there's other outside forces that don't want you to do well, because people have their own faults, and issues they're dealing with. And a lot of people, if they're not doing good in their lives, they don't want to see other people do good in their lives. It's like, and then those same people, if they're doing good in life, they still don't want other people to do good in life. Some people are like that, man. It's all about them, narcissists. But that's besides the point. I was thinking, I saw a post on Facebook, a friend, you know, he was having a hard time, and he was just saying, I'm just gonna say it, people are just shit these days. And you know, I was thinking about that, and I'm like, dude, he's kind of right. And I'm thinking, why would someone say that, you know, just generally about people? And you know, what it boils down to, I think the problem with people these days really is the main problem. There's two components to, I think, what's wrong with people these days, in my view. Number one is people. There's a lot of divisiveness going on these days. People are divided, man. It's just how it is, man. For whatever reasons, you know, politics, religion, ethnicity, culture, whatever. People are divided these days. And I just said this in my video yesterday, in my hot tub video. And then people are entitled, okay? Between people being entitled and divisiveness, that's, I think, the main problem with people these days, you know? And people with agendas, you know? It's the problem. You know, me personally, I don't have an agenda with anybody. My agenda is my agenda, and that is to just survive and try to improve my life somehow, you know, and trying to do the right things. It has nothing to do with anything else but me, anybody or anything. It all has to do with me. I don't care about politics, religion, ethnicities, culture. None of that crap is not even in my radar in as far as my life goes. My life evolves around me self-improving myself, improving me, okay, improving my life, because, you know, just like we have to make our own happiness, we have to make our own improvements, right? Because no one's going to do it for us. No one's going to do it for me. I have to do it myself, and that's what I'm trying to do these days. You know, I'm not doing like I used to do and numbing myself and hurting myself with drugs and alcohol, and having people around me that hurt themselves and don't take care of themselves. And I do think you kind of are your environment. If you're around good people, that will rub off on you. If you're around bad people, that will rub off on you. Water seeks its own level, man. You know? So, although I'm not as happy and stuff, like, you know, I always complain how I feel like a hamster on a wheel, but that's just how it is right now, you know. I'm still working on things about myself, my life, you know. You have to recognize an issue first before you can deal with it, right? And I'm in the stage in my life where I'm recognizing my issues, okay? Just like I recognize my issues with drugs and alcohol. I first had to recognize them, and then I dealt with them, and I'm still dealing with those issues. Even though I don't do it anymore, it's the aftermath of it all, you know? And what I've done, a lot of the bad choices I've made in my life, and the repercussions of those bad choices, I'm having to live with and deal with now as a 55-year-old dude, you know. So, you know, when I see people now, especially younger people, I can just tell like kind of where they're at in their life, and I can just read young people. Younger people are easier to read than older people to me, because you can kind of see where they're at in their lives, you know, because like I said, one of my other videos, they think they know, right? They think they know a lot about things, but they really don't. And you can see that in people. You know, if you have a lot of experience, then you can see other people and know that they really don't know a lot about life. They might be smart, but they just don't know about life, because you have to live a life to know about life, okay? That's something that comes with time. And that's one thing I have. I have experience. Okay? And with my experience, I learn a lot about myself and what I shouldn't do and what I should be doing. And that's what I'm doing. And that's why I'm at where I'm at right now. And that's pretty much the point I'm trying to make. So I'm almost at work now. I'm going to serve my time. It's my Monday. It's gloomy out today. Man, it's going to be a hot summer, because we've had a lot of this June gloom, May gray, man. And every time it does this, it just gets super hot afterwards. And man, we are in for it. I might die this summer. I'm going to just shrivel up and die from the sun. We'll see. But it is going to be a hot summer, man. I mark my words right now. It's going to be brutal this summer, man. We've had a lot of this overcast, and that's the calm before the storm. You know what I'm saying? The heat storm. So I'm trying to get myself mentally ready for this summer. It's going to be brutal, and hopefully I will survive. I might not. If not, oh well. I did have a decent little run, 55. But let's hope I do, and hope things get better. I'm just going to keep trying to do the right thing, do better for myself and people around me. I don't wish bad on anybody. I want people to succeed. I want, when I see young people and they're not right, just all people, not just young people. When I see people and they're just not doing something right, I want better for them. I want better for people, man, and I wish more people these days would have compassion for other people more than they do, okay? Because a lot of people, they just don't know. They just don't know, because they don't have experience, or they just haven't lived the life, and figured it out. But, I want good for people. Even if they're not good to me, I still want good for that person, okay? Because they are our fellow humans, right? We need to be more together as a society, not so divided, man, and so tribal, like little cliques. People need to like more people more. People need to like more people, and that's the problem. Divisiveness and entitlement. So I'm gonna go ahead and hang it up on that. I've been kind of stirring these thoughts around, and I need to get them out, and this is the best way I can. So I'm gonna get this day knocked out. It's gonna be a short week for me, because I'm going to see my mama. I'm excited to go see mama, and take a little break from this routine I got going. So y'all have a fantastic day, and we'll check y'all later. All right, see ya.